Okay, so hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Stijn Vermaere. I work for the France Marine Institute and I'm indeed a project manager at the IT division. I will try to keep it not too technical as well. I serve a community, the ETN, the European Tracking Network. It's a community of biologgers that track animals in the sea or the ocean. The technique that community uses, they have several techniques for biologging, but the one that I will describe today is the acoustic telemetry. So in acoustic telemetry, they put a tag inside a fish or on a fish that swims into the ocean, and it broadcasts an acoustic signal that can be detected by a receiver. Because GPS is not really an option to track any animals in the ocean, or definitely not fish, they use receivers that are set at a certain point. And these are called deployments. At the bottom left, you see some numbers, and those numbers represent the usage of our data portal. So the European Tracking Network has a data portal. It has over 600 users, and completely on the right you see 999, but what's missing is the million behind it. So we have 1 billion detections in our system, in around 3,000 deployments. So 3,000 of these receivers are at the ocean, and from these receivers we get 1 billion detections. Important, these detections come in from many manufacturers. The tags are manufactured by many of them. The receivers are produced by many of them. So the data comes in all sorts of standards, or not standards actually. One of our tasks is to upload all that data so it's usable for everyone. Hidden in my explanation is the reason why this community is so keen on having open data. The fact is that you don't own 3,000 receivers to deploy. You only have a couple of them, and you deploy them at the ocean. But your fish is being recorded by 3,000 of them, ideally. So when everyone shares their data, at least your data it's there. You can use it. You can use it in your science. So that's why open data in this regard is very important. So what have we done for Edito? A lot of this data is already available through our data platform, but making it available in Edito, we used all our open acoustic telemetry data. That means all the data that's not under embargo. Sadly, still people want to have the data under embargo for several reasons, and they have the right to do so. So that's why only our open data is available. We have exported it as Parquet and made it available on Edito through the stack catalog. One of the things here is that by not including the closed data, which is very much more difficult to do so, we hope that other scientists are moved to at least leave the embargo behind and open their data and make it available on Edito for the other benefits that Edito provides. I could not use a screenshot from Edito itself on the right of our stack catalog because it was not yet implemented when I made these slides. But now it is, thanks to Sam. Thank you very much. Going further. So this is a little bit an overview of what we have done, right? We have our data in a relational database, so we have to make it in a way that it can be exported from a Parquet, taking reasons of embargo into account, licensing, etc. So that's why we create a view that's exported to Parquet through Python, and then we host those files. For now, we host them on our own system, but I think it's a better thing to move to S3 at some point. Then we create a stack file. I'm very pleased to hear that they're working on a system to create stack files through a service provided, but we used the package PyStack, wrote it ourselves. But we extend our metadata. We have our own registry for data sets for institutes, researchers, but we combine that data also in our stack file, the license, the way to cite, the data that is being used, etc. So we made a lot of decisions. We try to make our work first. It's the first integration that we do with Edito, so we wanted to lower the complexity of the problem at hand. As you notice, there's always these nuances that make it more difficult. So what have we done? Only the open acoustic telemetry data. We hope that Edito provides so much benefits to the users, to the researchers, that they are moved to open up their data a little bit more, but there will also be integrations in the future of more closed-up data. Also, there's other data types. We have 1 billion detections in this one, but with other data techniques like archival data, this number will be a fond memory as when it was easy. So that will be growing, and it will be growing exponential, so we might need other techniques as well there. We still host the files themselves, I already said. We should move to something like S3. And then partitioning. So in this case, all our data is partitioned on Animal Project. It's a project. Why did we do it like that? One, it's convenient. It's how the researchers use it. They have requested it to be like this. So we serve a community. We do it like that. But also it becomes easier for citations to be mentioned and licensing, because all these animal projects have their own licensing and their own citation rights. So it becomes a little bit more clearer in the stack. So the conclusion I mentioned already, lower complexity to start. Then the benefits, why are we doing this? Findable. The data is already available. It's available through packages that we made, services that we provide. It's on a data platform, but it stays a little bit within the fish tracking community, people that know what it is. And in this case, it becomes a little bit more findable for people outside of that community as well. Accessible. We have had a lot of issues with that 1 billion detections. It's still in a relational database. We have some developments coming up to move it out of there and make it all faster. But making these exports in Parquet format, putting it on Edito, makes it resilient and faster to use. And then computational, maybe not that much in regard of the acoustic telemetry, but having the integration with HPC environments, etc., makes it, for some of this data, very, very useful. That it's fast, available, near the computing environment. So that's our final reason. So that is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please take a seat. Thanks. Just following up on a question that was asked and answered yesterday, the obvious one, you said encourage, other scientists to use the data, also to not embargo data. We heard reasons of being unwilling to share data yesterday in an industry context. They're political, they're technical, competition, other. What's the main obstacle you see? What's the main objection you see?
So, replying from us, I'm the technical guy in this one, so it's the things that I hear when I'm in a meeting where these things are disclosed. It's mainly researchers that are afraid that their data might be used or published before they can do anything with it.
Okay.
Which comes from, I think it's a fear that is not always that reasonable. But
what would your answer be then? If you're saying if you want to encourage, what would the answer be?
My answer would be that
to them,
definitely to this acoustic telemetry data community, where if everyone is open with their data, you have so much more to give and to win than what you have to lose.
You revalorize it, essentially. It's this reuse, this multi-use, and this increasing the pie, and yeah. Absolutely. Do we see, if anything hasn't come in, I can hold it, unless